Welcome back to Success Stories Unplugged, the podcast where we explore what it really takes to thrive in work and life. I'm Alex, your analytical co host.
And I'm Taylor, your energetic co pilot on this journey to self improvement. Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of time management, specifically through the lens of the 80/20 rule, also known as the Pareto Principle.
That's right. This principle can transform how you work, live, and manage your time by helping you focus on the 20% of actions that deliver 80% of your results. Stick around because we'll unpack the science behind it, share practical applications, and tell you how successful people leverage this rule to skyrocket their productivity.
Oh, and don't miss the inspiring story of a CEO who used the 80/20 rule to turn their struggling business into a market leader. Let's get started. So, Alex, let's start with the basics. What exactly is the 80/20 rule and where does it come from?
The 80/20 rule, or Pareto Principle, originated with Italian economist Vilfredo Pareto. He observed that 80% of Italy's wealth was owned by 20% of the population. Over time, this idea was applied to many areas, from business to personal productivity. Essentially, it states that a small percentage of efforts often leads to the majority of outcomes.
That's such an eye opener. It makes you wonder, are we wasting our energy on the wrong things?
Exactly. The principle encourages you to identify and prioritize the high impact activities in your life and work. Let's talk about how this applies to time management.
All right, Alex. How do we actually use the 80/20 rule to manage our time better?
Start by analyzing your tasks. Ask yourself, what 20% of my activities are driving 80% of my results? For example, in work, you might find that a handful of clients generate most of your revenue. Focus your energy there.
That makes so much sense. It's like clearing out the clutter to focus on what really matters. I once read about a writer who realized 80% of their readers came from just 20% of their blog posts. They started focusing only on those popular topics and saw huge growth.
That's a great example. It's not just about working harder, it's about working smarter. Time management is about allocating your resources where they matter most.
But Alex, doesn't it sound a little too good to be true? Are there challenges to applying the 80/20 rule?
Absolutely. One common challenge is identifying the right 20%. It takes analysis and sometimes trial and error. Another issue is letting go of low impact tasks, which can feel uncomfortable, especially if you're used to doing it all.
That's so relatable. I used to spend hours on social media for work thinking it was essential, but when I analyzed the numbers, only a small fraction of posts actually drove engagement. Cutting back felt weird at first, but it freed up so much time.
Exactly. It's about learning to delegate, automate, or eliminate the tasks that don't contribute significantly to your goals. Let's share some real life success stories to illustrate this.
Time for some inspiration. Alex, do you have a favorite example of someone using the 80/20 rule effectively?
Absolutely. Richard Koch, who wrote The 80/20 Principle, used it to simplify his business and personal life. He focused only on high value investments and relationships, leading to both financial success and greater happiness.
That's incredible. One of my favorite examples is the CEO of a tech startup who realized their top performing product was driving most of their revenue. By cutting other products and focusing solely on improving the bestseller, they turned their struggling company into an industry leader.
Those stories highlight the transformative power of the Pareto Principle. When you focus on the right things, everything else falls into place.
Let's get practical. How can our listeners start using the 80/20 rule in their own lives?
Here are three actionable steps. 1. Audit your time. Track your activities for a week and identify which tasks yield the most results. 2. Eliminate low value activities. Be ruthless about cutting or delegating tasks that don't contribute significantly to your goals. 3. Prioritize high impact actions. Dedicate the majority of your time and energy to the activities that make the biggest difference.
I love that. And for anyone who feels overwhelmed, start small. Even identifying one high impact task to focus on can make a big difference.
That's great advice, Taylor. It's about progress, not perfection. Let's also touch on how the 80-20 rule can apply to personal growth.
So, Alex, how does this principle apply outside of work?
It's incredibly versatile. For personal growth, think about the activities that bring you the most joy or self-improvement. Maybe 20% of the books you read have the most impact on your thinking. Focus on those.
That's so true. For me, I realized that just 20% of my friends give me 80% of my emotional support. Spending more time with them has been a game changer.
That's a beautiful example. It's all about maximizing the value of your time and energy in every area of life. That wraps up our exploration of the 80-20 rule for time management. Remember, it's not about doing more, it's about doing what matters most.
We hope this episode inspires you to take a closer look at how you're spending your time. If you enjoyed today's discussion, share it with someone who could use a productivity boost.
Don't forget to subscribe and leave us a review. We'd love to hear how you're applying the 80-20 rule in your life. Tag us on social media using Success Stories Unplugged.
Until next time, stay curious and keep striving. Remember, small shifts in focus can lead to massive results.
Absolutely. Here's to working smarter, not harder. Bye for now.